Hey, watch this, cameraman. I ain't Elf. He's trying to get out. Yeah, because he messed with Bad Santa, and I'll teach him a lesson.
It is the Rockin' Comedy Show. I'm Crazy Jay. Spazz is here.
What's up?
Hey, we've got a very interesting guest in the studio today. He hit us up on Craigslist answering our ad. Former pro wrestler.
I mean, this man has pretty much done it all.
He seems like it.
He's played with the greats.
Movies.
You know?
He knows famous people. He's like us.
Yeah, and he looks like Santa Claus.
And he does. And
making all the children happy all over the world.
Going by Disco Santa. And we'll talk about why his outfit is the way it is and so much more.
So, Disco Santa, what is your real name? What's your real name?
My real name is, let me think a second, I forgot, I ain't had one in so long. Oh yeah, William Wantland.
William Wantland.
W-A-N-T as in possession, land as in property.
Nice.
Excellent.
Want land.
Want land.
Oh, right on. Keep saying it. Use glue, it'll last longer.
and William, Disco Santa. I'll just call you Santa.
That'll work.
You know, so Santa, you have a plethora of abilities that you have acquired over your many years.
Right, but the main thing is after I had the stroke and I was diabetic, type 2 diabetes, all of a sudden everything stopped. Half my body was paralyzed. I was in a hospital bed, cardiologist said I'd never recover, and that's why I flipped him a bird, because he can't tell me I can't do something. Because the right side, now my thing was, try, do it. To me, I never accepted the fact that I was handicapped. You know, for some reason, disabled is a burglar alarm that doesn't work. I work. And so I've been trying for years. I get used to my right hand, a little bit of use, and also on my right side, but I'm in a power chair. And what I'm trying to do right now, the worst thing that happened to me is I lost the use to play an instrument. I used to be a lead guitar player and a bass player, and I couldn't use my right hand. So I figured, I gotta be able to do it with one hand. Well, 10 years later, I finally can do it. I developed a thing called three-finger guitar, and I can kick. But
and later on, we're just waiting for the bass to get here. So later on, you're going to hear a little bit of three-finger guitar.
Oh, so, guarantee it. Or they can go to my website, Facebook, under William Wantland, Disco Sam Moondog. All three will work.
Hopefully we get to hear you play bass.
Oh, guaranteed.
That would be fantastic. It would be on our part, to have you get out here, and we're waiting for the FNG. To bring us the bass, and hopefully he gets here. But just to go a little bit further back, before the stroke, you have an amazing amount of stories of people.
Just being a professional wrestler.
Being professional wrestling. Let's go into that. How did you get into that?
Ray Stevens, known as the Crippler, was in San Francisco, and a friend he was the brother of promoter, Roy Shire. And they had one called Moondog Maine. Lonnie Maine, he used to wrestle as Moondog. Well, he got really hurt, but he was a headliner. So they went to gyms to look for a candidate. Well, I was bench pressing and everything, and I looked like him, kind of like the runt of the litter, but I looked enough like Moondog Maine. I became his partner, so he could be there, but doesn't necessarily have to be in the ring full time because he was hurt. Right. So I was one of the first Moondog. That's what.
And how did that, pan out, being a wrestler, bass player / lead guitarist?
Well,
that's one of those very rare qualities that you find in one person.
Play a little bass before you go and knock somebody out.
Right. I kept them separate. Yeah, right, exactly. I didn't speak for 10 years, it gives you a clue. But I kept it separate. I'm also a musician, a magician. I do magic tricks and everything else. I worked in the circus, for a fire eater in the circus. I've done all kinds of stuff, but you have to keep them separate. But the wrestling was one identity. I played a bad guy. I was a bad puppy. I used to bite people and everything.
And at what time frame did this happen? Did this happen like early 70s?
Yes.
Early 80s?
Yes. All through the 70s through the 80s.
And I can only imagine. Did you wear like a mask? Because seeing Santa Claus beat the crap out of somebody is not one of those things that you get to see every day.
Okay, the thing about the Moondogs, they all look like Santa. That's the secret of it. All the Moondogs. But we were after the Gidget movie, Muscle Beach Party. They had a character on there called Moondoggy, and that's who we were fashioned after.
So all these guys looked like
Yeah, Santa. They look like Santa. And that's the idea, is that how could he be so mean? He's my favorite. That's amazing. Well, like the face, that's what we call them. Baby face are good guys, heels are bad. A baby face would come against me and I'd wrestle him and everything, and I'd see him screaming at the side, on the side of the ring. So I'd put his face down on the mat and rub it back and forth and they could hear me. How's that taste, pretty boy? And then later on, when they're, you know, we allow certain things to happen. At that time, he cut his forehead. So I set him up and started sucking the blood out of his forehead. And then I reached over and I spit it straight up and it landed in a chair where she was.
You know, I'm sure this was way before there were regulations where you're not allowed to suck other people's blood on
It's
stage.
called
you know, because
AIDS.
You know, AIDS and all that kind of crap.
But
God, they're
that
taking the fun out of everything.
Right, but I made, it was great. Because my job is, make sure I put butts in seats, because she'll be back there to watch my honey get whipped.
Excellent. So after that, we have you moving on to as a musician.
Right.
And moving on, you went from being a wrestler to being a musician. You're like the ultimate Renaissance man.
Well, also art. Everything you see on my chair,
it is.
And also I made with my bad hand. I have my only use of my left hand. I was right-handed on my.
You are very underappreciated.
Yes. You know, to be an artist, it showed that it's possible even when you're handicapped.
Now you also made your chair like that so people will see you, correct? That's the whole goal.
Yes. When I first got this chair, it was really dark, and at nighttime you couldn't see it. And then one time I was going across Flamingo by Maryland Parkway, and I almost got hit. This woman was talking on her cell phone. She said something to me. At that moment, she said, "Well, I didn't see you." Now Stevie Wonder can see my ass. Guaranteed.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not here in the studio, you have to take a look at this guy's wheelchair.
Yeah, but
it's like Mardi Gras threw up all over it.
Yeah.
It's,
and
you know, beads, you know, neon, green.
And I got 3 rows of lights right here that's battery powered.
And you know what? There's no way he's going to get hit by anybody. I'm worried about him hitting somebody else at this point.
If they hit me, they'll go to hell.
For blinding them, actually.
Guaranteed.
So on one of your YouTube videos, you had a sign next to you that said OJTalk.com.
Yes.
Were you in support of OJ?
Well, I was at the trial every single day he was
This
here.
was the new trial, right? The one
that Palace Station and everything else. He was good. He was a nice man. I had a great time with him. You look at that videos, you can see me talking to him and everything else. He was a nice guy. But Jesus Christ, there was videos, there was audio, and he would not stop. Don't write a book that says, if I had, duh.
Right.
OJ has his, his own issues.
Yeah.
Many issues that he has to deal with.
But he's a nice, big guy. He's big, too.
Well, he played football.
Yeah, he's a legend. He's a legend at that. But see, the men liked the idea. He signed autographs and everything. Women said, hang him.
Yeah.
Hang him.
Now, with your 3-finger bass guitar technique that you do, you teach this, or you want to teach it?
Yes, I want to teach. I want to do videos and that, and also.
That would be fantastic.
I also want.
Yeah, go on, please.
Oh, okay. What it's for is that, and also the guitar. I can also redo guitars and decorate and everything else, and also sell those. So I'm looking for both of them, and I'm also looking to have a recording contract so they can see a person isn't handicapped, even though he is.
You're handicapped only because you make yourself handicapped.
That's the only. But the whole horrible thing is, I'm the only one out here doing this. You know, and there's a few, like the jazz players coming later, and a few other people, but you can count them on your hand. But no one who's outstanding. And I figure it this way. Someone has to be first, so might as well be me.
You know, for those of you who are just joining us, we are talking to Disco Santa, a.k.a. Moondog. And well, can you please tell us your website real quick?
Okay, one website, Facebook. You can go William Wantland, Moondog, or Disco Santa. It goes all 3. MySpace, Moondog54, and YouTube, V as in Victor, G as in go, and P as in pot.
Excellent. So